Chapter 6 of The Legend of Skeleton Man. No pictures. There are no photos at all in this house. No pictures of any kind. No paintings. Not even any mirrors, aside from the small, cloudy one in my bathroom. Even that one was not up on the wall at first. I found it tucked behind the wardrobe and hung it up in the bathroom. Whenever I leave each day, I take it off the bathroom wall and carefully put it in its original hiding place. I just have this feeling that if I don't do that, it will be gone when I get back. There's nothing else in this house to show his face or anyone else's. When he picked me up, he smiled and laughed and talked like a concerned adult. It must have been an effort for him. His face was drawn and thin, angular with high cheekbones and a chin that jutted out, a high forehead with only a fringe of hair around his ears. But he looked human then. As soon as he got me into the car, he started to change. I remember him putting on sunglasses and pulling his big hat down so that his face was concealed from me and from other drivers. I caught a glimpse of the side of his face every now and then, and it seemed as if the flesh was melting off his bones. At the time, I figured the light was playing tricks on me, but now I'm not so sure. Ever since that day, he's been careful not to show me his face at all. He always keeps his back to me. And his hands, he'd kept them in his pockets, hidden from the social services people, but I could see them as they held the wheel. They were white, pale white. And the skin on them was so thin that I thought I could see through to the bones. And the fingernails were thick and long and sharp like claws. He must have seen me looking because he slipped on a pair of leather gloves at the next stoplight. But I turned away to watch the trees and the telephone poles and the houses whizzing past, being left behind us as we went down the road towards some place I never wanted to go. He didn't speak much that day. He just opened the car door when we got to the house. "Get out," he whispered. I got out. "Go in," he said. I went in. "Eat." I ate the plate of food he put in front of me while he stood behind me and watched until I was done. "Your room is upstairs," he said, and I went up to it with my box and my suitcase, and he shut the door behind me and locked it. I remember wondering that night if the door would ever be unlocked again. I also remember not caring whether I lived or died. I missed my parents so much. And then I remember feeling zombie-like and conking out. I still miss them. But I can't believe that they're gone forever. Dad always told me that being a dreamer meant that I had a special kind of gift, like our old people had long ago. If they really were never going to come back, I'd know somehow through my dreams. But I haven't had that kind of dream. Instead, I just have this feeling that they're out there somewhere and that they will be back. And when they come back, I will be there, and they'll hug me and explain why they were gone, and things will be all right again. I do care whether I live or die. It is the middle of the night. It is still Wednesday night, a night that just doesn't seem to want to end, that just keeps creeping along. But my mind is moving like a runaway freight train. Run away. That's exactly what I feel like I'm doing. But run away where? First of all, I've got almost no money, and without it, I couldn't get far. He'd find me, and he'd bring me right back here. But that is not the only reason I haven't run away. I have this feeling that if I'm ever going to see my mother and father again, I need to be here. That somehow my uncle is involved in their disappearance. And though he didn't show up until after they were gone, trust your dreams. Both my parents said that. That's our old way, our Mohawk way, the way of our ancestors. Trust the little voice that speaks to you. That is your heart speaking. But when those feelings, those dreams, those voices are so confusing, what do you do then? Help, I whisper, help. I'm not sure who I'm talking to when I say that, but I hope they're listening.